Hi, today I'm going to inform you of some tips and tricks on how to clip your dog's nails and how to understand their body language while doing so that way the entire experience is good for you and them. I've been working at a dog boarding facility for over 3 years now, and I'm working on getting my associates in basics of animal science. So I know a few things about animals. Whenever it comes to clipping a dog's nails, you have to understand that the materials you're using is what going to make the whole thing make or break. Now, with bigger dogs like her, you'd have to use some chunkier clippers. With these clippers, it's easier to break through the thick nail. However, with a smaller animal like a cat or a chihuahua, you would have to use a smaller, more scissor-like nail clippers rather than these big chunky ones. Because of these chunky ones being able to clip through their thicker nails easier, it makes the whole experience better for them because it's just a quick snip and it's already done. However, you do have to focus on how close you're getting with those clippers because there is the pink part of their nail, aka the quick, which you don't want to hit at all because it is the part that holds their nail together, basically. Like our hands, how we have the pink parts under our nails, you have to be able to not hit that because it will bleed and it will be so extremely hurtful. And if you do end up quicking them, it makes them kind of bleed a lot. So you want to be extremely careful in what you're doing. Now, onto a few other materials. You can use a loop like I have on her currently, even though she obviously does not need it. And that is simply to hold them in place. Now, with the loop or leash, whichever you prefer, it's simple to just take it, wrap it around their heads, and pull it tight so that way they can be close to you. Now, this is extremely easy whenever you have a leash or loop that you can use to hold your dog with you, because then you can simply pick up their paw and still have them quite close to you while you examine what needs to be clipped. A few other things that you can use to ensure that you're using the right things and that your dog is going to be happy with you is a few incentives, such as treats. Now, she is a very food-motivated lady. So whenever I'm doing her nails, I prefer, excuse me, love, to use a few treats just to keep her attention on something else rather than the snip of the clippers. A lot of the times, if they have something else to focus on rather than the clippers, then they will be more focused on that rather than maybe pulling away or telling you no. Now, you can also, instead of using treats, you can use encouraging words or maybe a toy. Now, with her, encouraging words and treats work better, but it's really just about knowing your dog. The body language of your animal also proves on if it's going to be a make or break situation. Now, with her, whenever I pull out the clippers, she tends to not like them, but let her have a sniff anyways, just so she knows what they are and she understands what I'm going to do, which is why she quickly turns away. Now, I'm going to simply understand her body language, which is, right now, she's kind of okay with it, but she's also kind of not. So we want her to be happier with me than anything. Because when I'm clipping her nails, if you take the clippers and they immediately start trying to pull away, such as she did, that means that they're not quite ready for you to clip their nails yet, and they need a little extra time understanding that the clippers are going to do what you're planning on doing. Now, a lot of the times, body language is a major thing. So if your pet is pulling away from you or simply telling you no and it's kind of aggravating you, you have to understand that they don't trust you enough that they're not going to get hurt or that it's not going to be as seamless as you're trying to make it be. With a lot of times, owners try to hurry up and get it done with, but that also causes issues between them and their pet. Because if you're rushing something as simple as a nail clip, they won't have as much trust in you because that is a very sensitive area for them because it's quite easy to make them bleed. So you have to just let them take their time and understanding that they're going to get treats, so they're going to get pets, and that everything is going to be okay. Now, a few things you have to understand whenever it comes to their body language is that their eyes are very expressionate. So if you're sitting there clipping their nails and their eyes are wide and you can see lots of whites around their irises, then they're very scared and very worried, and that they're not going to be the easiest thing to work with. Now, if you have your dog, come here. If your dog is in a position where they are sitting next to you, as she was a moment ago, and you have your arms wrapped around them, and they're not liking that either, they're kind of bucking around and they're not enjoying it at all, then that means that they're not as happy as you think that they are with you. Now, these simple things, like maybe even their ears laying flat back, means that they're not happy at all, and that maybe you need to reevaluate some things. So, whenever it comes to animal posture, movements, and how their eyes are looking at you, you have to understand that this is their only way of communicating. So if they're jerking around or pulling away from you or looking at you all scared, then you have to really take a moment, give them a minute, let them, walk around, do a few laps, and see how it's going to go after. In conclusion, knowing the right materials and the size of what you may need, such as the clippers, or maybe even using the treats, on a dog, and understanding your dog's body language overall will help you overcome most issues you have when it comes to nail clipping sessions. Thank you.